gamers, we just did the Mongol video, and today we're gonna do an update in the tournaments of mine. So yesterday I have played Road to Wololo, July weekly number 2, and god damn, look at that. Woo! Spoilers, watch out. Played against Wham. These are the civs played. I beat him with Rus, he beat me with Rus, I beat him with French, boom. B, I beat him with Delhi versus Abbasid, beat him with Atri versus China, got my revenge, which we're gonna take a look right now. And then I played against Marine Lord in the finals. It was very back and forth, and we'll go through that a little bit as well. So, first things first, let's jump into the we're not gonna watch every single game, I'll just show you guys the most interesting ones, right? So, I think this is the one that I'm looking for. Yeah. So last week, by the way, since the weekly started, I won the first one, then I lost the second one. I won the third weekly, then I lost the fourth one. And this one was number 5 and I won it. And then this coming weekend, I am going to a wedding. A lot of people ask me, are you getting married? No, I'm going to a wedding. And I'm going to be skipping. So I figured I'm going to probably lose it anyway. So I'll skip this week's weekly, and then I'll come back for the next one and hopefully win that one again. Hopefully. But last week I lost to B in this matchup on this map. I got Barbican rushed, and I did not defend it. I took some. I kind of defended it, but then I didn't defend it, and then I took damage. And then I lost a little bit later. So, this time, you know, fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice? Not today, brother. Not today. So, what happened? Well, this was the exact map we played, and he opened with a dock. So it's kind of like a dock into delayed... what's it called? Delayed Barbican. But I was like, you know what? He's gonna do the same thing again. B is the kind of guy who finds something that works and he just keeps doing it over and over. So, I was like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna get more workers on wood. I'm gonna get my fishing. I'm gonna wait for his scout to pass. I noticed he only had 1 scout. And then, I'm gonna do a little barracks. You know why? Because not only I'll deny his fishing, but if he goes for Barbican Rush again, which I suspected he would, then I can defend it. So here we go. So he did not see the barracks, I think. Right? There's no way he saw it, right? Yeah, he didn't see it. Because he just passed here. I don't think he had vision of that. So, and I don't think he expected this at all. That's why you got a scout. So, he's going for the gold, you know, he's slowly building up for that Barbican. I'm going with the Spearman. He doesn't see yet, Pepe left, he doesn't know. I waited to get like 3 Spearmen so I can go together. And now I start working on the dock. So I knew he has 2 options here, right? One is Barbican here, which then I prevent the Barbican, right? And kind of mission successful, and I managed to delay some of his eco, maybe kill a dog, or he's still gonna Barbican me. So I was like, okay, if he Barbicans me, then he loses the dock, so I just win the game, right? So I sent 1 scout around to see if his villagers are going for a Barbican. Ah, what is this? No. I start stabbing him in the ass. And on the other side, the dock goes down and all his fishing goes to shit. So he tries to... This is how you play this Barbican thing. Like, if there's units trying to defend, you build a tower first. So you have, you know, you can put the workers inside. But I pulled a lot of my workers, and I had 4 spearmen and the scout working. So I killed 2 workers there, I kill a scout, I kill another worker here, I miss micro there. Another worker. And even if I lose workers, it doesn't matter because he's losing his own workers, right? Meanwhile, my fishing is still going. Although I stopped production there for a little bit, so that was... Maybe I should have put these villagers there and maybe aged up with less villagers. So that's a mistake that I can improve next time. I should have probably kept 5 on wood so I can keep producing fishing boats. But I managed to defend it. His dock, like I said, goes down and he's forced to build Barbican here. So that's very nice. And from here on out, you know, the game was kind of smooth sailing. He is behind right now. We're actually equal economy, but China should get age up faster. And also their eco with fishing boats should be better, because their ships produce 20% faster. It's 20%, I think. It doesn't say here, but I think it's 20% faster. So I managed to build a dock as well. I get a galley out, and then I kill a bunch more fishing ships. Meanwhile, I'm going to Cathedral. So I was just chilling in this game, producing fishing. I'm gonna get another fishing dock on this side, and I think, yeah, I get 2 galleys here, and I got a good amount of damage on the fishing here. And not only that, but he is forced to make so many junks here that they're gonna be completely useless because, you know, it's not like he can counterattack me with them. And galleys from HRA are really, really good, so yeah. I started yoinking the relics, I'm vacuuming them. Second dock here. Got a bunch of fishing boats here. And I just go fast Imperial. You know, I love doing that, so I get a Hulk here on this side. I was microing, and then I just gave up and he killed me, so. No. I kind of gave up midway. I'm like, oh fuck it, it's not worth it. Just let him have the water. And yeah, from here on out, this might look like, oh, it was equal workers kind of thing and stuff like that. But with HRE, you know, I had wood under chapel and I had the relics gold and all that. My economy kind of power spiked quite hard, and yeah, like I said, I forced him to make a lot of the ships that he didn't really have. And he's not anywhere close to Imperial. So now, this really confused me, by the way. I didn't scout, like, I have my units around, and this actually really caught me off guard. So eventually I attack him. Right now I'm finishing some of the upgrades, I'm building more army, and I think I get 1 bombard and I attack, right? And I attack to mass Jugenu, or Chukenu, whatever they're pronounced. And I was just like, what? So in this matchup, you rarely get this rushed. And I did it, I only started upgrades now. But you never get Iron Undermesh rushed for ranged armor, because Chinese don't really go for archers. They don't go archers or these or crossbows too much. They usually go siege and palace guards. I only got this because I wanted to start diving under TC, so I would take less damage from that. So then I attack here, and he already has +2 attack. So if you look, he is melting my men-at-arms. Like, look how fast they're dying. Now I'm like, what the f— I remember thinking, I was like, what the fuck? So he just starts— this is a bombard tower soon with the relic. So he just starts attacking it. Look how fast movements are dying. Again, these are castle men-at-arms. No wait, these are elite men-at-arms. These are elite men-at-arms, and they're getting like fucking plastered from these. So I was like, what the fuck? So I was like, oh, he's gonna back off because I have a bomber tower. Nope, he just kept attacking into bomber towers, and he cleans me up here. But once I saw this, by the way, I knew that he's nowhere close to Imperial, so I was like, yeah, it's fine. I try to target fire here some, so it kills clumps of units. But just— oh yeah, and I was building like towers here on all sides. I managed to build a bomber tower here, it killed the dock. And yeah, I was just making towers everywhere so that, you know, it gets uncomfortable with him. And the funny thing is, this is where this is where plus one finished a bit ago, and look how much less damage now they're taking. And then you're gonna see +2 finishing, because these guys, they do 7 damage but times 3, right? So if you get +1 armor, they do way less damage. So look at the units taking damage now. Like you can see, it's way less. He's target firing some. He's target firing the lane shits, which have no armor. And now I have 7 armor, 7 range armor. He has 7 damage, so he deals 1 damage times 3. And if you look at my unit's health right now, as he's shooting, you can see like they're dying way slower. But now he can't do much, you know. And because I see the reinforcement coming, I know that he's like fully committed to trying to make this work. And I was just so surprised, like why not just make crossbows? You know? And then I decided to have close I decided to have closer reinforcements. I mean, I had like 3k wood, so I was like, I'm about to win anyway, so. It didn't make a difference? Yeah, that's true. Because it was 6 armor, he was getting 7 damage yeah, it didn't make a difference, you're right. But yeah, I just make a bunch of barracks here, and he gives up. Yeah, you're right, he would have done 1 damage anyway. But you could see the difference that the units were taking, like the difference. So anyway, I win that, and the first game I played against B was with Delhi. And that was, I mean, you know, Delhi, you know, overpowered. Now this game was very interesting. I predicted pretty well which Civ's Marine Lord is gonna play on each map. And I expected he would pick French here, because he loves French on Dry Arabia. And the game starts actually really bad for me, and I watched the replay last night, and I didn't realize that I was actually really far behind. So you'll see what I mean. Spoilers, I won this game. But I was really not in a good spot. I think I was like 20 workers behind at one point, which is a lot of workers. So I actually haven't played this matchup where French goes 2 TC in a super long time. So he decides to go for 2 TC, and I scouted it super early, so I knew he was doing it. And my plan was to go an extra TC. But I was getting harassed like on every side, and I was kind of fucking struggling to keep my stuff alive. Like, he did a really good night harassment, and it was very annoying to defend it. I didn't lose any villagers. I lost the scout there, but I actually lost no villagers. And this is where I still wanted to go for 3rd TC, because if he goes 2, I go 3, right? Because my villager production is cheaper, so it's still fine. But then when I saw the archer, I was like, oh, that's not good. Because if he has archers, I need to build horsemen instantly, and also I can't mine any more stone. So I just, yeah, he goes for the stone instantly, because I think he knows that I might want to go 3 TC. So I had to stop that. He has some more harassment here, and I lose my first villager. And even though I only lost 1 villager, I actually lost a shit ton of just mining time, gathering time, because I kept having to move workers around. And from here on out, because he's French, IRL and in-game actually, he has faster villager production, and now he's working on 2 TCs. So you can see he's already 6 workers ahead because of it. I lost 1 worker, and then he's also 5-6 workers ahead because of, you know, the French Civ bonus. And you can see he's checking for the stone, and he probably felt that this was pretty good position for him, because, like I said, you do want to go triple TC, French go 2, with Avacid at least. I tried to do some harassment, but he had units, and also, I don't know if it's now or a bit later, but I noticed that he has even more production, so I knew that this is going to be like a prolonged feudal and not castle rush. So I didn't have too many workers on gold. I think I had like 3 maybe. And I added, I had 2 stables and I add a barracks soon. And I just go 2 barracks, 2 stables to counter what he's doing. Here I put a tower in Stealth Forest because it gives so much vision. Look at that. It gives a lot of vision and it's in Stealth Forest, so it's pretty annoying for him. And yeah, I was just kind of macroing it up. Got some upgrades as well. And I started harassing the other side because I got horsemen. I just try to wall off here, and I think he runs in as I'm trying to wall. I didn't even see this knight going. But yeah, his harassment was pretty good. Worker count 55 to 68. So no bueno. He walls off here. I do some run by. You know, I'm kind of like, yeah, I killed a worker here, but it's more like I'm preventing mining time rather than killing stuff. He harasses here as well, and I'm still kind of just building up because I see like he has insane amounts of units, right? This is so many knights. So I knew that he's gonna go for an attack either soon or get castle and then go for an attack. So I wasn't stopping my my unit production because of that. So right now, worker count is 78 to 64. So add 10 workers on gold, and he sees me getting castle right now. He is not going to castle. He's like, he needs 800 food. So the moment he sees me that I went castle, he goes for an attack, which is, if you're gonna attack, you go right then, because this is the worst time for me, because none of my upgrades are done from castle. So technically I'm still in feudal. I just have 1.8k resources less. So he goes for an attack here, and this ends up being really bad for him. When he was going in, I was like, oh, this is good for me, because he's getting surrounded by 2 TCs. If he attacked, I mean, even if he attacked from here, there's a tower here, so I don't know how that would work, but he attacks through here, there's a tower, there's a TC, there's a TC, and then my production is right there. I knew I had units there because I was chasing a knight. I had units here, and I had horsemen from the back. So initially it looked kind of scary for me. I moved the villagers on the other side. It looks kind of scary, but I'm just trying to wait for the other reinforcements, and I get stuck on the buildings here a little bit, but I kind of get the engage that I want. The horsemen get on the archers, and my spearmen have phalanx upgrade, so the range on the Abbasid spears is, how does it work? Is it 100% longer? I don't know, but you can see like the range they're attacking from is quite a lot, right? So this fight kind of starts looking good for him, but yeah. With some of the target firing on the horsemen and just spears doing so much damage, he gets pushed back and he loses so many knights. Here he does a charge because he tried to charge my horsemen, but he ends up getting 4 of his knights stunned. And he loses 2 more here, and he loses all the archers. The problem with archer cavalry comp is it is good against this, but in bigger numbers you can't really target fire because you're overkilling by insane amounts. I saw that he has a thing here with the tower, that he's collecting the boar. And he also built a monastery soon after. I think he thought that he has this game under control completely, otherwise you would never build a monastery here. And then he ends up losing the monastery and everything that goes along. But again, worker count 69, very nice, against 88. So even though this fight went really good for me, I'm still in like a pretty bad spot. But in the game, I didn't feel like I was that far behind, actually. I thought I was maybe 10 workers, 15 workers behind. But it was a bit more than that. So yeah, here he builds a monastery. I just decide to just go and kill it because, yeah, why not? He loses all of that. He starts some harassment. He actually kills no workers here, despite so many knights diving. Or maybe here he kills. No, he didn't kill the right. And yeah, he kind of ends up losing a few more knights. And this is the part where he's trying to harass too much. Like, with the worker count as is, he doesn't need to harass more. He can just chill and do a big attack. But he keeps trying to, like, kill workers and stuff, and... yeah. Meanwhile, I managed to get I think 4 relics total, and I capped sacred sites because I wanted to just have an alternative way of winning. Right now the worker count, he's still at 20, and he's been ahead 20 a while, but I have more army because he's been kind of throwing away the knights. And with 40 spearmen, like, yeah, archers counter it, but you can't really target fire 40 spearmen with archers. It just doesn't work. So in the fights, I knew that a lot of his archers would be shooting at my horsemen, which is very good for me. I had way too much gold, and what I made a big mistake here. What I should have done is I should have gone camel riders or lancers because of how much gold I had. Because it's pretty much same food count. Like, obviously it's a little bit more expensive, 40 food, but it costs gold, and I could have done that, but you know, it is what it is. Because then his archers would be mega useless. But yeah, here I set up my keep in the stealth forest, which is a very good spot. I had 2 mangonels here shooting at his archers that he missed. Or maybe he didn't miss, but he lost a bunch. Again, another bad trade for him, because he loses gold units, and I'm losing wood and food units. And then I started raiding everywhere. I had like constant raids on the top, and constant raids on the bottom, while kind of pushing through the middle. And every time he wouldn't pay attention to... like, the middle, I would just rush the siege and kill it all. So, yeah. I think he got Imperial first. Here I managed to run in. And again, these are like food wood units. You know, I kill 2 villagers, I lose 6 horsemen, you know, whatever, it is what it is. I make keep on every side here, because I started the sacred site countdown. And from this point, I'm pushing him on 2 sides. He's trying to siege the middle. And now because he has to defend 2 sides, he has to move his units. And the moment he moves his units, I just rush through the middle. And I kill all his siege, which is very, very good for me. I save my keep. And these kinds of dirty fights, you know, messy fights, are much better for me because it's a lot easier to micro spearman horseman than it is to micro knight archer. So for me, I can like move units at random spots, but he has to like pay a lot more attention to it. Also, I took this middle wood line, so I knew that he's running out of wood. Like, he has wood here and like maybe here, and on this side these 2, but that's it. I knew that he's gonna run out of first. I killed the TC here, he kills my siege, but I had so many more resources that didn't really matter. What I could have done earlier, which I only saw now, because there was so much action all over the map, like with the multitasking and stuff, I didn't see that my gold count was this high, so I just bought Imperial. Which I could have done sooner, so that's another thing I could improve upon. But overall, considering I was 20 workers behind the whole game, this was, like, I think really, really good for me. He tries raid here, and he doesn't get much done. I think he kills like 3 villagers maybe, and again loses all of it. He gets Imperial, or I get Imperial as well, sorry, he had Imperial. And I just start producing anti-siege units because I just need to hold. At this point, the Sacred Side win was like in 4 minutes or something, and I had keeps everywhere, so I knew if I just hold, I win. I even had double keep here, double keep in the middle, and only 1 on the top. So yeah, I also controlled both rich golds, by the way, so I knew that he's probably going to run out of gold soon as well. Yeah, this is his last gold. He actually had 3 golds. I think he had 2 in the back of his base. And 1, or no, 2 in the front and 1 in the back. And he already got 2 in the front, so I knew he was running out of gold as well. I rushed the siege again here. Just mowed him down real quick. And yeah, the moment I killed the siege, I knew like the game is over. Because yeah, if you look at my production, it's quite a lot of stuff, and I just keep producing more. He tried at one point to capture this, but I managed to stop that too, and the game ends. Guild Hall. He used the Guild Hall. Alright, then we had, this game was long as fuck. So, I think it was like 45 minutes or maybe even 50 minutes. How long was it? 45 minutes. Yeah, I'm not gonna go through that one. What happened in Lipany? I mean, Lipany was Delhi versus Abbasid. It was very similar to me versus B. I just won the fight trades and eventually denied food and won. I want to show you the last 2 games. So I didn't ban Rus. By the way, a lot of people still to this day think that you're banning civs per map, okay? Guys, in tournaments, you make 1 ban and it's for the whole series. Because every time I lose in a tournament, people are like, oh my god, why didn't you ban this civ on this map? And I'm like, because the civs are for the whole series and you only got 1. So yeah, on 4 lakes, because I banned Delhi, he had Rus, and I tried to play French versus Rus, and my plan was to make a Hulk in the water and then just win water. But then we both walled off our water, so I couldn't. And my mistake there was because I committed. He went Spearman Horseman, because the amount of food that he had was insane from the fishing, and I had a lot of food as well. But I went with Knight Archer and Arbitraries, and he went with Horseman Spearman. So I ran out of gold first. There was a point where I kind of started winning, but I literally just ran out of gold, and I was like, well, GG. And he didn't, because the only gold he was producing was, he had some stealthy and he had siege. It is what it is. How do you optimize the first few actions of each game? I noticed in under 3 seconds, you start scout from TC, place the villagers on res, and start scouting. I go like this, ready? The moment the game starts, I select TC, scout, I press WQ for scout plus villager. I select my villagers on food, or I tell them to build something, and then I select my scout and I send it anywhere. Like, don't send it like here. Just select scout and click it here. Anywhere so it starts moving. And once you, like, your villagers are, you know, start gathering food, you can also hotkey your TC, then send it to the other side. You can select the scout to actually start scouting. And you can select the first few sheep that are following your scout and put them back to your TC. So that's how I do it, at least. So this game was pretty funny. Yeah, he had 5 relics and 4 lakes as well. So this game starts, and I was gonna Barbican rush because it's HRA versus China. But I end up scouting that he has 5 on wood. So I knew that he's gonna build a barracks or towers, right? Because you don't go this early wood with HRA. So I was like, okay, I'm not gonna Barbican rush. I'm just gonna play defensive. So, yeah, I can see here, and I actually see this worker moving out. So I knew that this is barracks coming. So I turn around, I scout, and I see the barracks. So, if I just build defensive Barbican, I'm in a huge lead. Like, huge lead. But instead, I decide to be like greedy, and I go Imperial Academy, and I was gonna counter Barbican rush him. So I go Imperial Academy, and I even got so many sheep. By the way, I got 16 sheep. I mean, he got as well. He got 15. So yeah, if I made a Barbican like here or here, doesn't matter, and a tower here, I would have been in such a good position. But I decided to be greedy because I was like, I'm just going to ignore Tower Rush and I'm going to go Barbican him on the other side. I build an archery range and I kind of prevent further Tower Rushing. And this is where I pull my workers and I go for the counter. And, well, it didn't work out as intended, I'll say that. The tower actually fucking hits my villagers there, so that was unfortunate. And I do Barbican on his gold. But first I do a tower because he had a horseman coming. So I can defend that. So my mistake this game is, I mean, first I was greedy, but if I just made a tower here, like right now, that's it. I win the game. That's it, because I would block both goals. But I decide to tower this side first, and that loses me the game. I even start going downwards, and then I go back up. Because if I made a tower here, like here, whatever, and made a wall, that's it. That's GG. Because there's like 3 towers here, both golds block. There's no other golds you can have access to. And then I could have just done tower, 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 and that's it. GG. Like, he's towering me here as well, but it doesn't matter. Like, I actually can get, like, these resources right here for gold if I wanted to. But I decided to go this side first, and he builds this tower, and I had nothing close. So by the time I get there, he finishes it. Like, I see it insta. But he finishes it, and I tried to rush my own tower, but... And I kept committing workers because I knew if that goes up, the game's over. So, yeah. So from here on out, he gets gold mining. He starts getting upgrades. He can also buy food if he wants to, and he also got better in RAM, which was kind of nail in the coffin, because now I lost like 10 workers trying to build this tower, by the way. Which eventually I do denied, but he got like all the gold that he needed, and yeah, that's pretty much it. But yeah, lesson for me for the next time, you know, just play it safe, Warhead, don't risk it. No reason to risk it, but it was a funny game though. And yeah, I just tap out because he had too many units at this point. Yeah, he was getting food here, he was getting gold, so... Unfortunate, but, like, when I lost that game, I was, like, laughing. I was like, I'm such a fucking idiot. So, yeah, I talked to, I was talking about this earlier. I talked to Mareka when I finished the series. And she's like, oh, how do you feel? Because she knows Marine Lord beat me, like, in 80% or 90% of the times we met. Like I said, this is the second time I'm beating him in a tournament. And she's like, oh, how do you feel? Like, are you, like, you know, do you think you, like, barely won? Or I was like, no, not really. Like, I was like, I felt like if I changed a thing or two, it could have been a 3-0 or it could have been a 3-1. And even though it was 3-2, I feel like I felt pretty good about it. And she's like, that's good. I'm like, yep, feels good. Feels good, man. Oh, yeah. This game, the last map was Highview, and I picked HRE versus English. It was kind of a weird game, an interesting game. It started off really good, and then went bad, and then good. So my spawn was really good. If you look, this map is like busted for defensive play. On my side more so than his. But he also had this wood line that like covers his back entrance, and if he was playing some kind of boom sieve, like he could have put a wall here, put a tower, or like a barbican, and then he had basically super safe. But I had a really good spawn because I can wall here, and I can wall here, and I'm super protected, and I have food source in the back. So I was super happy about the spawn, and I was like, okay, I know what I'm gonna do. I don't know if he's gonna commit to aggression or not. But I can put a tower here, and then there's nowhere he can pass. And I'll just go fast Imperial. So, I make one mistake, and this is like high level, right? Like one mistake can fuck you over so hard. So what I should have done is I should have just built a wall behind this. So that he cannot pass, because I still couldn't upgrade a tower. And I only had one scout in it. So I started upgrading it. And he just run past with like a scout, 2 longbows, and a spearman. And I have no units. So this becomes such a fucking issue. Like I have to remake lumber camp. Now I'm not in the radius of chapel. I pull workers to try snipe the units. But he sees and he kites. I lose a villager. I can't go on berries. My sheep are expiring. So it goes from like super good start to like kind of steering. I bait his scout into a tower here. And I don't have wood to build barracks. Now, I have wood like right now. Now I'm running back with these. And it was just so messy. And like, you know, messy for no reason. He loses the longbow here and then the spearman, so he only had 1 longbow left. So I think total I lost 2 villagers here. And I get a man-at-arm, and I kind of clean up. But again, it's like, you know, I could have been on the way to Imperial, not Imperial now, but I could have been slowly, you know, getting to Imperial. But instead, I'm so delayed that it kind of sucked pretty bad. I do manage to sneak in relics. I get 1, I get the 2nd, so my gold pumping has started. And my plan right now is just to get as much food as possible and go to Imperial. And then shit starts getting even worse. Yeah, so here, again, if I just wall this off, this would have been so good for me. So what ends up happening is I made knights to counterattack, you know, to harass him a bit and go Imperial. He runs past here, and I run with the fucking villagers. And then the shit keeps running through here now, and I'm making spearmen, but they're not upgraded. I can't upgrade them because I got like 3 spearmen, so what's the point of upgrading them? And I just start bleeding workers, and he's like running them everywhere, and I'm just like, oh my god. I remember just thinking like, fuck me, not like this, like, I don't want to lose like this. Also, what he did here was really good. He actually spread out the deer so far. Look, there's 1 deer here, 2 there, 1 here, and 2 there. So he spread out the deer like batshit insane amounts, so my collecting of food was so trash here. I do like a wall here. And that kind of secures for a little bit. And he actually went for like a committed attack here with some longbows and then knights, which eventually I managed to defend. I get market and I just buy myself Imperial here. Boom. Which I was like, whew! Nice, I got the Imperial. Great, now we can play the game. I do some harassment here. And then I see the longbow army, and I chop through here, obviously at an exact point when the army's coming, you know, because why not? Look, it just got chopped down by this dumbass. So now I'm like, oh fuck. So it's like I can't engage, I can't rewall because the longbows. Here he moves away, and I think I do the rewall quickly. And now I'm kind of feeling secure. But then he keeps coming with more units, so, and I see it here. So what I decide to do is go for a siege workshop and get a mango note, just so I can like deny the longbows because they've been pretty annoying. And I think right now, yeah, right now I have 4 relics, which is really good. 2 in the cathedral, 2 in the towers. I don't know why he committed here, because repair. I start making farms, and I'm kind of steering, right? I'm kind of like, okay, I just need to hold, And, it was here when I go manual, yeah. And, here I was also kind of worried because I went for a counterattack with my knights. So I was hoping I can hold, but the longbows were like melting my horsemen. So here he goes in, managed to push him back. This tower is shooting, it has extra range because of the relic. And I managed to get him out long enough to just re-wall, and I was like, whew, GG. I get a mango out, and now I'm in my zone, baby. And he makes a critical mistake right here. So yeah, I felt like he played really well this early game, and I played it pretty trash. The worker count, I was like 20 or 30 workers behind, by the way, but then Palace of Swabia kicks in, and you know, now we're equal workers, except I have 4 relics. I get a keep here to secure the golds, and I know a lot of people are gonna say, map spawn so good for you. You see this rich gold on his side of the map, right? Do you guys see this rich gold on his side of the map? Do you guys see rich gold on my side of the map? No? Yeah, that's because I didn't have one. Both rich golds spawned on his side of the map. So that was great. Yeah, I realized that the reason why I made this keep, I realized I have to push through the middle because I will run out of gold. because both rich golds are on his side. I had more wood. Yeah, I did. Well, I did have more wood, yeah. But I think I would rather have gold than wood in AoE 4. Because when you run out of gold, you run out of siege, you run out of knights. When you run out of wood, you just run out of siege. You can still produce knights and hand cannoneers. So I would always preferably run out of wood first. And also this is high view, so it's like you can chop all this wood as well in stealth forests. So yeah. This part of the map was like, look at this woodlands. Check. So yeah, I knew that I had to push through as fast as possible if I want to get the juicy gold, because running out of wood on high view is also a very hard thing to do. Like, he had 4 big forests and all the stealth forests. Like, I don't think he even came close to running out of the wood. So he starts sieging here. I have auto repair going on. And from this point on, I was like, when I actually saw the Vingard Palace, I was like, oh yes. So the moment I saw that this Vingard Palace is here, I added more workshops. I added 1 or 2 more workshops, and I instantly went bombards, and I wanted to push and destroy this as fast as possible. And I knew if I destroy this, I get a lot of value for myself in the long run. And I ran up like 35 spearmen here and some horses to kill the traps, and it was 100% worth. Like, I lose 40 spearmen, but it's like 3 traps is like, they're insanely expensive, right? Obviously they're not for him because he's building them out of this, but that's why I wanted to get in there and do as much as possible. And now that they're done, I started pushing. Initially the pushing here was pretty sloppy. Because I didn't see the horseman transition, and I didn't see that he has that many stables, but he kept just fucking running into my bombards and killing them, because I was also raiding at the same time, and he was raiding me at the same time. So I kept losing bombards for nothing, and I was like, oh, this is not good. So here I start pushing again, and then I just lose more siege, and I'm like, oh, fuck me. I gotta just stop, collect myself, and then go. I build another keep here because I want the gold. The gold gathering doesn't really go as planned because I still didn't destroy his keep. But eventually, with the power of bombards, I do get it down. And once this happened, I was like, fuck yeah, brother. Give me that Vingard Palace next. I need it. I need it right now. So here I just commit a bunch of units to just tank whatever, but there's nothing there because he just did a massive 13 horseman run by. And from this point on, I got some of the gold, but I think he stops me soon after. But I was very, very comfortable now because this is a big piece of English late game, and I knew he's never going to be able to remake it or repair it, I guess. And from here on out, it was standard, you know, HRE army printing. I just did, you know, what I usually do, just attack everywhere, counterattack, run into every place possible, like kill villagers for food units. And every time his trebs were exposed, I just managed to kill them. Here, I wanted to fight for this gold, so I built a keep, and the keep finishes, and there's 10 gold remaining here. So, yeah. Kick W. But I do manage to get this keep down, and then I managed to run a crap ton of spearmen in, and I managed to get this gold and this stone for myself, which was very nice. I instantly sent like a bunch of markers, build a keep there. I had a lot of stone mining, and I took his stone on this side as well. And he didn't have too much stone mining for whatever reason. And then the stuff that he did, he just upgraded bombard towers and stuff. Traps going down. Oh yeah, someone asked, how did I get the relic on the right side? He took the relic, and eventually the relic just was in the middle, and I was like, what? I was like, was this relic here the whole time? But I don't know, at some point, he moves the monk there. I don't know if he uses the F2 key or what. Select all army key. He kept trying to kill this side, by the way, but I kept running down the trebs with horsemen. Oh yeah, here we go, the F2, select all army. And I kept killing his trebs with my horsemen. And mind you, like, he was producing trebuchets at the full cost right now. So he was producing them with 500 and 250, which is really expensive. So he chopped down the woods here. He has a wood line here that he can still work on. And he's out of gold because I took this gold. Oh no, he has gold here, sorry. But obviously he has farms because he's English. So yeah, here comes the monk. XW. And then I saw the relic after the body despawned, and I was like, oh. Going. So I just put it in Bomber Tower. And yeah, like, my tactic here was just overpower him with just sheer amount of units. I wasn't really trading necessarily efficiently, but like, my bombards kept dying, but every time my bombards would die, I would kill like a bombard or 2 bombard towers. I would kill siege workshops. I would kill stables and archer ranges. So I was like, whatever. So if you look at my gold count, I have insane gold count still because I'm still mining. So here, for example, run by, I do some damage, and then I shift Q bombards into buildings, and I just do a lot of damage on them. So here I go for the tower, boom. You know, like, I lost 2 bombers for that tower, and obviously resource for resources that's not worth, but he has no stone, so he has 480 stone left. Or he's mining it here. And then I transition into knights because I had so much gold, and I realized the only units he has right now is like horseman, longbow, some spearmen, but that's about it. I build a keep here to start pushing towards the farms. I try to build another keep here. I go a little bit more in the back. And again, bombards killing like the towers. Eventually trebuchets get left exposed. And I jump on those and I mow them down. As you do. I built a TC here for the auto repair, so I can auto repair these keeps. And he was actually about to get eliminated because I had 3 bombards moving, and there was a 4th one here to eliminate the last 2 landmarks. Would have been a GG either way, but it's funny, I said it yesterday in the interview, but I had a mini discussion with Marine Lord, and he feels English is fine in this matchup. But I feel like HRE still has an advantage, because if you consider how well he outplayed me early on, and how bad I played early on, and still the game ends like this, I think it's pretty good for HRE. And also this is high view, so it's like out of all the maps, this is not really a map for HRE, right? So if it was a more HRE friendly map, it would have been even, yeah. Windguard in front was bad? Yeah, it was, but then also me losing villagers and running workers everywhere was also really bad, so. No gold was also really bad, so yeah. If you think HRE is the best civ, why not ban HRE? Because I don't think a lot of people know how to play HRE well. But people have started banning HRE against me, by the way. On Saturday, most of the people that played against me banned HRE against me. Because I don't think I've lost a single game with HRE in a while.